Welcome. Courtside, we are live on the NFHS network in presentation with PSNtv from the beautiful city of Van Nuys in Southern California, live from Howie Levine Court inside Bill McKee Gymnasium. This is the CIF State Southern California Regionals second round. Number 6 Grant Lancers hosting the number 14 Mission Prep Royals in an early matinee tip-off. I'm Brian Stanley, joining me Kevin Hitchin. And Kevin, you had some time just before we went live to speak with head coach of the Grant Lancers, Coach Tarek Abdel Samaya. I'm going to work on that. He's told me 4 times how to pronounce it, and I'm still working on it. It is quite a last name with numerous letters in it, which gets me tongue-tied.
Yeah, some of the cool history we're hearing, Brian, is sounds like the Lancers have had 3 head coaches in the last some 65 years. Bill McKee, head coach from 59 to 84. Then had one of his players, Howard Levine, take over the reins, and he coached from 84 to 2015. And then Coach Tariq taken over, and he played for Coach Levine. So we were kind of joking. The court's named after one of these all-time greats. The gym's named after another one, and Coach said he's just happy they might name a bathroom or a locker room or something like that after him. But it sounds like the coach's, what's it been, almost 10 years here. He's made an imprint, a 7th season on this program so far. What was it, back-to-back city champions?
Yeah, back-to-back city champions before being bumped up to the Open League this season, or the Open Division in the city section, the Los Angeles City section, which is a whole different beast than the Southern section.
Yeah, you'd think they're all grouped into one, but like we're the Central section, which ranges from say Fresno, Yosemite area, out to Bakersfield, out to Bishop and Mammoth, Lone Pine, and then down to our coastal schools. We're just one of the 11, I think, sections it is, or 9. Southern section's a huge geographic bit as well, but then the LA city, just the city themselves, they have enough schools here to constitute their own section.
And I was talking to Coach about how the Southern section and the city section match up, and he says they're in the heart of the Southern section. Within 5 miles, he's got 6 schools around him that are in the Southern section that are top Southern section schools. So he's in a hotbed of student athletes.
I mean, we're talking about Los Angeles, and when you think about LA, one of the coolest things right now is the Los Angeles Clippers have all these stars on their team, and one of the reasons they wanted to go play for the Clippers, they wanted to go represent their hometown. Kawhi from LA, Westbrook, Harden, Paul George, their big 4, all from LA. And I'm looking up in the rafters here, often as you will, when you walk in one of these stadiums, we got Gilbert Arenas' jersey retired on the wall. So Gilbert Arenas, a hooper from Grant High School.
And the Grant Lancers are going to be wearing their home whites tonight with orange trim. The Mission Prep Royals in their road navy blues with that Vegas gold lettering and numbering plus the trim. And this is going to be a matchup between a city section open division qualifier versus a central section division 2 finalist.
Yeah, going back to the LA basketball theme that we were kind of talking about, for the basketball players that grow up on the Central Coast from our area, playing LA basketball is not something new to them. Often it's a prerequisite to be a viable varsity player. You need to have grown up around LA basketball. And so what do I mean by that? I'm looking on the court here, and I can probably come up with, we could ask their club coach, Mike Wozniak, but a lot of these guys on the floor, they've played in LA games probably 100 times already in their life. So being in this small, older gym that's going to get really loud, This isn't going to be new to our guys at all. They've played in a bunch of tournaments, maybe not wearing Mission Prep on their shirt. But that is kind of the basketball lifestyle in California. You got to get into the bigger metro areas to find the meat and find the games.
I was talking to one of the parents as I was walking in from the Mission Prep. Forgive me for not knowing the name, but he was talking about how this is an old school gym.
Yeah.
Old school Los Angeles Unified School District gym.
Yep.
There's many of them across this great city of Los Angeles that are built exactly this way.
Yeah, we have the small back gym. As you can see through the camera beyond the benches, it's this same gym but with no bleachers. And I agree. When I saw Mission Prep had secured our win, obviously I wasn't on the call with you, Brian, so I had the freedom to play computer guy, and I peeked over at this live stream and I saw the environment and said, man, I got to get to this game. This is one of those classic smaller gyms that basketball was founded for. Looks like we got an 84-foot court today, Brian. Courts can be 84 or 94 feet. Mission Prep's home floor is a 94 foot court. Same with Selland Arena. I believe our last game was on an 84-foot court as well. So why do I talk about that? Why does that matter? Those extra 10 feet, those are 3 steps when you're transitioning down the court. So transition basketball happens faster on an 84-foot court. And then presses, easier to get into passing lanes as it's harder to spread out. So I expect the Lancers to be pressing most of this game. I expect Mission Prep to throw their own pressure out there. And we'll see who can control the tempo and make the game be played at their speed like we've talked about before.
And it doesn't look like we're going to get an anthem or introductions. We're just going to get to playing some basketball here in McKee Gymnasium. That's
you know what? 2 rims, a ball, and 2 teams. I say let's play. That's
my kind of thing. In the center circle for the jump is Luke Jacobson and Overton, William Overton, and the jump ball to the Lancers. And sliding across the floor for the travel, Jordan Taylor, averaging 8 points a game for Coach Tariq.
Yeah, good to see Taylor get up there. Those falls are often the ones you get scared of, the non-contact injuries you never want to see, but it looks like the young man's doing just fine, the senior guard, averaging 8 points a game, Jordan Taylor.
Starting lineup for the Royals tonight is going to be Jaden Nozil, Braden Mott, Roman Benedetti, Luke Jacobson, and Brody Miller. And Miller takes the handoff from Nozil to Mott, back to Miller, 3-pointer left wing, and that's in like butter, through a hot knife through butter. I got ahead of myself. I'm so excited tonight. Royals up 3-0, and quick drive to the rim the other way. Jordan Taylor answers back with a deuce. 3-2 our score. Mission Prep leading early in this second round state playoff in the Southern California Regionals. And the layup no good for Nozil, rebounded by Grant. William Overton taking it back to Taylor, and Jordan Taylor fouled on his way to the rim.
I like Taylor's mentality earlier. He's got that meet me at the rim in his veins. That's 2 straight possessions transition. He's just said, oh, you're not going to stop me? I'll get to the rim here. But let's go back to Mission Prep's first score. One of the classic components to their offense is good flare screens. And we saw a great one set there to free up Miller for his opening jumper.
And the miss by Taylor. Starting 5 for the Lancers on the miss on the second one, rebounded. Stays with the offense. Lancers coming up with it. Bentov. Amir Bentov. Overton driving into the corner. Morrell. And Morrell for 3-pointer. Ronald Morrell. The lead to the Lancers for the first time, 5-3. Royals now trailing in
Brian,
this one.
when you go in a gym for the first time, if you're a real hooper, you do a couple things. You look at the lines, so you know where's inbounds, where's out of bounds. You definitely look at the rims, see if they're going to be stiff, hard. And these are definitely shooters' rims. They're not super soft, but we're going to see a couple balls bounce and then go in.
Nozil,
for that 3.
Nozil missing that 3 for the Royals, out of bounds.
It's good defense by Roman Benedetti, not using his hands, but letting the defender run into his body there.
Overton not able to maintain possession, slipping out of bounds. Nozil going to bring it across the center stripe. How much does the gym itself, if you look at the court, the lines are dark, the hardwood is dark. How much does that play into a home court advantage for the Lancers tonight?
Well, it's pretty obvious where they are. They're not super colored, so they're going to be fine. Guys that play down plenty of different courts. The other thing you got to look for if you're a young hooper is the shot clock. You need to know where that thing is.
And the miss by Taylor, the rebound not able to be recovered by Medeiros.
Royals are going to need to not give up. That's 2 offensive rebounds in 2 minutes, and that could be a deciding factor. We've talked about it in previous broadcasts. But they're going to need to hit that defensive glass harder if they want to come out of here with
Ronald
a W.
Morrell with the rebound. Morrell guarded by Miller. Through the hands of Taylor into Bentov. Moving around Morrell. Bentov spinning in on Jacobson. Ball knocked loose. And the whistle called on Jacobson. His second foul committed in this quarter. He is 2 down. Excuse me, they give that to Benedetti. Well, that's a save. I'll take it.
Yeah, you know, trying to watch the Lancers action early on in this game. And they're definitely comfortable moving the ball, which you love to see.
And the steal by Mott. Nozil to Miller, shakes off the defender and drops the bucket. And Miller gives the lead back to the Royals for the second time. 6-5, out of bounds off the Lancers.
The Royals press working for them, but you got to love the setup there from Miller, created by Jaden Nozil, getting hard in the paint in transition, and then looking for that weak side skip pass.
We talked about on the baseline cut, out of bounds off of the Lancers.
I talked about it in pregame, Brian, with the 84-foot court and with the pressure defense that the Lancers bring, the court does not feel like it's got much room out there.
It does move fast when we get moving, and Nozil able to recover the pass and knocked out of bounds by Jordan Taylor. Grant knocking the ball out of bounds.
I don't dislike the Royals' decision making. They're erring on the side of trying to set up a teammate early. It's always good to see. A little good
back to
misdirection
Miller.
there.
Miller in the right wing. From the angle to the rim, no good. Chases his own rebound. Taylor can't recover it, but Bentov does.
You got to get in front. You can't just let him get to the block in transition.
And Bentov misses the shot, rebounded by Jacobson. Back to Jacobson, pulls the trigger. Three-pointer, no good. Benedetti finds that offensive board. Mott drives into the lane straight away, puts up the jumper, and is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
Like to see Mott's aggression early on in the game. Often he stars in a role as a creator for others, but when you get into that kill zone 5-10 feet away from the hoop, you got to be able to be a threat to score. Big shouts to Lancers cheer squad today. They are bringing the juice for their home team.
They are. This place gets loud rather fast with that low ceiling.
And the Lancers student body, they got a good 50, 60 kids sitting in the crowd. Mission Prep faithful. I got a good probably 20 so parents here. Shouts to them for making the trip for this 5 o'clock game.
And Mott 1 of 2 on that trip.
The Royals back to their pressure here.
7-5 Royals leading. And the drive to the rim, the layup good for Minoy. Anthony Minoy checking in at the break. Tied up 7-7, the first tie since we were 0-0. Miller on the near side. Back to Nozil up top, who drives straight in. And contact made. And here comes the call. Jordan Taylor receives his first foul of the contest. Each team now with 2 fouls.
It's a good drive by Nozil there. The 2 long steps at the end. Definitely picked up some of the nuance of that attacking style from former teammate J.J. Howard at University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Jay just had a great first year in college. He's rehabbing an injury right now, but he's earned a starting role on that team and is averaging about 10 points. So I'd love to see the next wave of hoopers for the Royals. Noziel at the line.
And Noziel missing both
he hit
of
some
them.
Big ones last game, though, right, Brian?
Yeah, we were perfect in the last game. 16 for 16 as a team.
That's how you win
Royals.
close games. These little things matter.
Royals 1 for 4 at the line. The miss underneath by Bentov.
Mott with the rebound and the kick ahead.
And Benedetti with a mid-range jumper, bouncing around and sliding in with a little love from the gods of the basketball world.
Yeah, you know, his balance wasn't perfect there, but he did find his balance. Coach Harris asking for a carry. Could be accurate, he could not be. That's a good pull-up jumper.
At the left elbow.
Brian, we talked about it in maybe the first playoff game, but it's always fun to see real jump shooters. I believe that was 35,
yep, 30.
Ronald Merrill. The really good-looking jumper. Got his spot, similar to Chris Paul. Get to the elbow, and I'll rise up and shoot.
And Jacobson blocked. And back the other way with the alley-oop to Overton. William Overton on the board. And going from the lead to the tie to losing the lead, the Grant Lancers are back on top, or were momentarily, as we have our third lead of the contest with a Noziel bucket.
Merrill, bang.
Merrill with his second three-pointer.
Yeah, you just know that shot's going up if you're a hooper. There's a little bit of swivel in his shoulders.
And the block
hips,
underneath. We're going back the other way with the Lancers.
Feet under him and his rhythm with the pull-up three.
And Mott throwing his body in front of the ball to recover it for the Royals.
It's an important play.
And bodies hitting the floor everywhere. Taylor looking for a foul on the character counts logo. Noziel's going to go to the line to shoot a pair. He was fouled in the act of shooting. Anthony Manoy with the foul. Third team foul for the Lancers.
Yeah, we're seeing this game. I think this has been well officiated so far, but if you want to draw fouls in these hyper intense kind of environments, you gotta attack. You're not gonna get little fouls where you're not trying to get somewhere or accomplish something on the court. So you gotta have that meet me at the rim mentality, being ready to go downhill, as we see Deuce Kellogg and Ethan Orozco check into the game here for Benedetti. And was it Mott? Yeah, and Mott take a breather here.
And Noziel making the first
those are good
and the second.
See what the Royals get into here.
Making the adjustment at the line.
Go into a 2-3 zone here and see if they can shift the Lancers' offensive flow.
14-13. The pass into the corner, three-point range, and that is good for Satira.
Yeah, good shot by Kai there. And that's one of those where the ball goes in when it has good rhythm, Brian. That was a good 1-2 extra pass. Kai's feet are ready, shot ready. That ball's going to go in. You call yourself a basketball player.
17-13, 128 on the clock. And Noziel fighting to that rim. 6 points for Noziel.
Yeah, Noziel's showing one of his superpowers of his ability to finish through and with contact. And what you see him do is as he attacks, he puts the ball nice and high and tries to bait you into blocking it. And then once you swing, he moves it and then gets his shot around. Now, I'm not saying that's easy to do. That takes a high degree of skill, coordination, and athleticism, and let's not forget toughness.
Kerry Saleh checking in.
Roscoe with that first foul. It was a good out-of-bounds play against the zone. They screened the outside forward, and there's no other player to run out there unless that guy's on his toes ready to sprint through it.
And Saleh making an impact early. A 5-point lead for the Lancers, 20-15.
Is that Saleh with another three back-to-back there? Good kick out by Roscoe.
No, that was his first of the night. Last one was Merrill, because Saleh just checked in at the stoppage.
Oh, I'm getting my numbers mixed up. I was mixing up with Kai. Oh, good lefty. Okay, lefty. Bentov.
And Amir Bentov with a three-pointer.
You know, that shot reminds me of like the stretch fours in the league, Brian. They don't jump too much on their three. They're strong enough, and they just kind of get up on their toes and shoot it from their toes rather than it be a jump shot.
20 seconds in the first quarter remaining. 23-15, an 8-point lead.
Deuce is just going to go here.
Deuce pushing in and back out to Mott, resetting to Nozil.
Job by the Royals, making sure they get the last shot.
5 seconds. Nozil calling for the ball, and Deuce to the rim, no good.
That's what he does.
And we're gonna go to the end. We're gonna go to the second quarter with the Lancers leading the Royals 23-15. We'll be right back.
It is more than just your local grocery store. A full-service deli featuring premium Boar's Head meats and cheeses, handmade take-and-bake pizza, fresh salad and olive bar, gourmet cheese department perfect for any occasion, sushi rolled daily, organic and locally sourced produce, wild-caught seafood, choice Prime and Snake River Farms American Wagyu beef, artisan sourdough bread, and full-service health and wellness. California Fresh Markets, the best on the Central Coast.
And the drum unit is in place. You can feel that vibrating through this gymnasium.
This is high school sports. That sound, it just...
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm actually
great.
enjoying it.
Yep.
I was, in the break, I was counting my numbers, and I could just feel the beat flowing through me.
Yeah, you know, Brian, oftentimes I talk to student athletes and, I want to be a college athlete. Yeah, okay, that's great, but what are you trying to do in college? You're trying to work really hard, because being a college athlete's like having 2 full-time jobs, being a student, being an athlete. You want to go have fun and go work really hard? Join the band.
Yeah.
They go to games, and they're just partying. They're having a great time, rooting for their people, have community, have teammates. You'd never go to a college game and see the band having a bad time.
Orozco started in this quarter instead of Miller. The rest of the characters remain the same for the Royals. Nozil, Jacobson, Mott, and Benedetti. And the floor a little slippery as Jacobson three-pointer.
That's for sure. Is that from Orozco?
Jacobson on the board, 23-18. I believe the pass was from Orozco. And Jacobson with the steal, following the bucket on the other end. And he kicks it out to Benedetti, who exchanges the pass with Jacobson to Mott, all on the near side. And the miss by Benedetti, chased down by Orozco, not in time, out of bounds. Lancers ball leading 23-18.
You're going to live with that if you're the Royals. That's your guy. It's Roman Benedetti, scored 36 last game. You can absolutely fill it up. As they're kind of wiping some sweat up here, this is one of those games where, again, football game, we got a wet field, turf. You got to understand the traction that's under your feet. And it seems like these athletes are still figuring out the traction under their feet here, as we have the refs correct shot clock and game clock differential.
They're putting the shot clock to 33. Shot clock started a little late.
Royals in man-to-man here. Lancers are looping their guys under.
Moreau up top to Bentov. Bentov on the far side. Passes to Satora. And that high pass in the corner, Mignon. Minoy not able to drive the baseline and get the bucket. And Mott crosses over, picks up the rock. Orozco sends up a three-pointer, and that's the money ball.
So Orozco makes that. Mott gets the assist, but what goes unstatted there is that hard cut to the rim by Benedetti, and he makes Orozco's defender have to respect that as Mott gets this steal.
And the bad pass by Merrill.
And then the turnover.
And the turnover the other way as the high pass ends up in the hands of Saleh.
Royals on a 4-0, 5-0 run to start the quarter.
Correct, 5-0 run to start the quarter. 23-21 is our score, 6:10 remaining until halftime.
Yeah, it's tough there. Coach Harris isn't happy. It probably would be absolutely a no call if Roman Benedetti just puts his hands up, straight up. Not saying that's easy, because you got a spinning tornado that's probably 210 pounds lefty coming at you strong-handed there. But, yeah, reality is he's looking at free throws.
Amir Bintoff.
Yeah, good shooter, man. We saw the good three early. Knocks down that free throw, averaging 10 and a half a game.
Jordan Taylor and William Overton checking in.
And we saw Taylor make his impact felt early in the game with all of his drives to the hoop in transition.
And the second one a miss, 3-point lead for the Lancers.
As a coach, it always scares me when you don't definitively defensive rebound out of a free throw. Those are things you should be able to control. You're 4-on-3 in there. You should be able to win that ball majority of the times. The Royals have lost one and almost lost another there. Looks like we're seeing a 1-2-2 zone from the Lancers. Typically want to attack this by getting in the heart of the zone like we saw Noziel there.
And fighting for the ball.
Yeah.
The offensive rebound stays with the Royals. Noziel on the near side in the corner. That pass collected by Mott. And Mott, if you watch him, he's favoring that left leg. And the pass through the lane by Roscoe, off target, collected by Bintoff.
Often got a bounce pass when you're in the paint with all those arms around there.
Manoy, shot no good. Orozco finds that rebound.
Good rebound by
Out rebounding
Roscoe.
Soleil.
His third of the game. It's just won by effort and positioning there.
And the pass inside to Orozco, this time picked off by William Overton to Soleil. And the pass to Taylor, just off target. Taylor got ahead of it. So 4:53 in the second quarter. Royals trailing by 3,
So, Brian,
24-21.
some of our viewers might be asking, why would the Lancers go to this zone after what's been working has led them to get up? But Coach Tariq's probably saying, you know what, I don't want to give 20 those drives against the man-to-man. So I'm going to engineer more bodies in front of him to see if they can beat me on the pass. And Coach's wager has been correct for the first two possessions. They've gone into that.
Taylor pushing to the lane, pushing back on Miller, and we have the whistle. Miller's going to get called for this foul, sending Jordan Taylor to the line. That's Miller's first foul, second team foul of the quarter for the Royals.
Yeah, my guess here is Lancers head coach, Coach Turek, probably staying in that zone here by the communication he just gave his point guard. And I would too. So look for the Royals to try to attack this 1-2-2 out of the middle, or the other area that's a really good driving lane is from the baseline. If you could drive baseline and then be looking to the weak side corner or the weak side three-point line, and especially that 45-degree cut from the free throw line extended to the hoop is often a very advantageous situation to be in.
And the make good for Taylor, 2 for 2.
Yeah, we're seeing that high 1-2-2 pressure again here.
Back to that
With their
5-point lead.
length, they really fill up the court here, Brian.
Noziel back to Mott. That high pass recovered into the corner to
That's where you
Jacobson.
got to cut in there, yeah.
Back to Noziel. Noziel at the low block. Passes up to Mott. Mott double team. The ball moves higher to Miller. Now to Cowlog. And Deuce passes to Mott.
It's going to be hard to get a look we love.
And that shot
Just
clock on this
passing the
side
ball
went a little
around side to
haywire.
three. Yeah, he wanted that. He wanted to shoot that. Soleil. Now, multiple of these Lancers have the shooting body language big time. You could just tell they are ready and primed to shoot it. They can get it off.
And the timeout called by Terrence Harris. He wants to talk it over with the squad. It's a 30-second timeout. 3:49 remaining until halftime. Lancers lead the Royals 26-21.
Hyundai San Luis Obispo is proud to be a sponsor of Mission College Prep. For all first-time drivers, get $500 off your first purchase. Our team is here to make your car buying experience memorable and hassle-free. Drive away in this Kona today with 3.99 APR for 60 months. Because at Hyundai San Luis Obispo, we're not just selling cars, we're shaping unforgettable journeys.
Coming back from the timeout taken by Terrence Harris. He wants to keep his squad in this one. They're trailing by 5, 26-21. Lancers over the Royals. The Lancers of Ulysses S. Grant High School in the city of Van Nuys.
Classic high school coaching here. Okay, you called a timeout to talk about how to beat my zone. I'm gonna switch it up on you and go man to man. As we see the Lancers come out in man here.
And Miller, and the steal by Overton.
Yeah.
And Overton slamming it in.
Overton way over the hoop there, Brian. 14.4 points a game, making his impact felt.
Welcome to our house. Benedetti trying to get in, the ball slapped away by Taylor, and Taylor's gonna get caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And that's a foul on Jordan Taylor.
Yeah, I don't blame the Lancers for being upset there, like I didn't blame Coach Harris for being upset for that
They
foul
didn't give
on
it.
Benedetti. They're
They didn't give it to Taylor. They gave it to Overton.
swiping down. We've talked about that before. If you're going to swipe at the ball, swipe underhanded, not a big tomahawk over the top.
And the inbounds as the ball was on the court.
Screener inbounds play.
Jacobson, Benedetti to Miller
Good cut by
to Noziel.
Roscoe.
Orozco three-pointer off target, pulled in by Bintov. Amir Bintov.
Your body's in front, body's in front.
And Taylor hitting the hardwood.
That's surprising.
That was a tough landing for Taylor. And he gets up. That one was agonizing. The foul called on Orozco.
Yeah, I agree with how the refs handled that.
And Soleil getting the bucket.
Brian, basketball's a game of momentum, and the Royals need a bucket here to try to redirect the momentum. Ever since the Lancers went zone for those 4 possessions in a row, this has stymied the Royals' offensive flow.
Royals had a good run to open the quarter, and that all changed. And the reverse layup on the cut. Give that a round of applause to Ethan Orozco.
Great assist by Miller there, anticipating that back cut.
Soleil to Overton, guarded by Benedetti. Contested by Noziel.
Good box
Rebound
out
by
Miller.
Taylor. And the swat by Noziel. Rebounded by Miller. Royals with 2 minutes to go into the corner. And that one's up and over the backboard, out of bounds. Lancers ball. The miss by Jacobson.
Now we saw 11 of the Lancers jump that passing lane for that steal. We could have seen 11 for the Royals the last possession. Benedetti get a tip steal there. But though, we gotta have eyeballs that can see the ball. Sometimes you watch a defensive player and it looks like they're just staring out into the abyss of half court. But what they're really doing is watching everything with their peripheral vision. It's not good to be just staring down a piece of the court. You want to be seeing everything that's happening.
And the drive in by Manoy.
Another rebound by Miller there.
And Manoy losing,
Turn it over.
or getting the rebound on the, as he slips onto the hardwood, gets the ball away to Bintov. Bintov pushing back. There should have been a travel there, but Taylor laying it up on the reverse. And Taylor with 6 points tonight. The Royals trail by 9 in the second round action of the state playoffs.
Royals need to tighten up their help defense a little bit. I think they're a half step to a full step behind. That's allowing these driving lanes to happen as Noziel does his thing and gets to the hoop.
Jaden Noziel shaking his defender, Taylor, and Taylor working with Orozco, and Taylor hitting the hardwood again, this time with the ball ricocheting off the hoop onto the back of his head. He's been beat up today. And Orozco with his 3rd foul.
Yeah, Taylor's that style of player. You see him in the John Walls, the Derrick Roses, Colin Sexton at Utah right now, Russ Westbrook. That they're going to be at the rim. They're going to be high flying, and sometimes they're going to be sliding too when they hit the deck. But they're used to that. They're prepped to do it. You can't do that without the strong body that Jordan Taylor has.
And Orozco checking out as Deuce Kellogg is checked back in. And Taylor sends up the second one. And the
Interesting.
Lancers are 5 for 8 at the free throw line, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm interested what coach wants to talk about here. They're up 9, and they got 50 seconds or so left in the quarter here. He's probably saying, let's not let this thing get cut to 5. Let's not give up a bucket. Let's not get pressed. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Lancers come out here and something we have not seen them do yet. Whether that's a full court press, maybe trapping the inbounds pass. Maybe sometimes there's some local coaches on the Central Coast in this situation will trap the first pass once they cross half court. But look for maybe this timeout to be used as a strategic one defensive play strategy to have employed. Looks like we're going back to that 1-2-2 zone, actually, which I don't think would be a bad call for coach at all here. Look for the Royals to what some coaches call a zipper cut, so cut from the weak side of the ball across the free throw line to get open, similar to what we just saw Deuce do there. But
and the pass inside to Jacobson knocked away.
You got a ball fake. That's got to be a ball fake and a wraparound pass. You can't just pass the ball over your head.
And Anthony Manoy collecting that loose ball, bringing it across the center stripe. Overton to Bintov, to Manoy. The high pass to Overton collected. Overton guarded by Jacobson. 10 seconds left.
Yeah, so they're going to say one shot here.
And they didn't stop the game clock. Game clock still running. They need to add some time to that.
If you're a Royals fan, you hate to see that. Coach Harris obviously not in love with it. Yeah, we definitely think the time's short by 2.
And Manoy making the first.
Some more time here because there's definitely some time ran off there.
And they're now discussing the time. The time.
And if you're like, what's the big difference, Brian, between 1 second and 3 seconds? A good basketball player can go the length of the floor with the ball in less than 5. So a good basketball player is capable of catching it somewhere between half court and the 3 and getting one dribble across the half and shooting a legitimate 3-point shot. So that game of seconds there does have a big impact. Looks like they're going to put 5.5 up.
That seems more appropriate.
And that was the differential on the shot clock and the game clock. So in some of these older systems, the trigger that controls the clock is not the same trigger that controls the shot clock. So the game clock doesn't necessarily kill the shot clock, and that's what we saw. Those were 2 different switches there. I saw a coach fight almost happen once at a rivalry game between Cal Poly and USB. Coach Bob Williams and Joe Calero had some words at half court about the clock and whether or not the bench was doing that on purpose.
And the second one, a miss.
Yeah, we're having some issues with that. Obvious that the clock guys aren't just being homers here because that was not an advantageous thing for them. But again, we talked about this, the free throws, box outs. Overton gets his team another shot here, and you just can't have that if you want to win close basketball games. The ball needs to be the most important thing in everyone's life at any moment when you're on defense. Shoot when you're on offense too.
Now we got 4 seconds. It went from 40 to 0.4 to 4. And the inbounds on 4 seconds. Overton looking to shoot over Jacobson. Does so, but misses. And we go to the break with...
It was a good shot there, Brian, but I want to draw our viewers' attention to something. He looks in rhythm there, but when he's stepping into that left-right on his last 2 feet, he doesn't get his right foot fully around it in front, and therefore his right hip's behind his left hip. It's a really hard situation to be a jump shooter in.
And at the break, our score 35-25. We're going to double check our notes, and we'll get back to you in just moments with some halftime stats. And let's take it away with our producer, Seth Orozco. Hit those commercials, big boy.
As the road you travel changes, so can your insurance needs. Talking with Farmers Insurance Agent Jennifer White can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Call Farmers Agent Jennifer White today at 805-592-1272. That's Jennifer White at 805-592-1272.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
California Fresh Market is more than just your local grocery store. A full-service deli featuring premium boar's head meats and cheeses, handmade take-and-bake pizza, fresh salad and olive bar, gourmet cheese department perfect for any occasion, sushi rolled daily, organic and locally sourced produce, wild-caught seafood, choice Prime and Snake River Farms American Wagyu beef, artisan sourdough bread, and full-service health and wellness. California Fresh Markets, the best on the Central Coast.
Hyundai San Luis Obispo is proud to be a sponsor of Mission College Prep. For all first-time drivers, get $500 off your first purchase. Our team is here to make your car buying experience memorable and hassle-free. Drive away in this Kona today with 3.99 APR for 60 months. Because at Hyundai San Luis Obispo, we're not just selling cars, we're shaping unforgettable journeys. Meet the Hyundai Ioniq 6, 100% electric, with an incredible 360-mile range on a single charge. Right now, get up to $10,000 with no dealer markups at Hyundai San Luis Obispo. The Hyundai Ioniq 6, electrifying your journey exclusively at Hyundai San Luis Obispo.
Welcome back. It's halftime. I'm Brian Stanley. With me, Kevin Hitchin, the athletic director of Mission College Prep. And Kevin, I think we found a new line of work for you. If athletic director doesn't ever work out, we might have a spot for you at PSNtv.
Yeah, Brian, I'm having a lot of fun doing these games with you. Basketball's obviously got a special place in my heart. High school sports especially. I remember being a senior myself in these do or win or end your high school career games. They're important, and they're important to all these seniors we've seen out here. I think the Lancers have 4, and Mission Prep's got they're at their single senior. I can still remember being down, kind of similar to what the Royals are here, and looking at teammate Michael Escobedo, who's now coaching up at Mendocino Junior College. Shouts to Coach Escobedo, running the men's and the women's program up there. But us looking at each other and saying we're not going to lose this game, and then deciding we weren't going to lose and inspiring some others to have that same mentality. And that's what the Royals are going to need to do here. They're going to need to decide no more offensive rebounds for the Lancers, and any bucket they want to get, they're going to have to earn it. If they don't come out with that kind of physicality, toughness, and togetherness, this game could easily slip to 12, 14, 16 points this quarter and look to be insurmountable early on.
And our
And
scoring.
that's happened to the Lancers. And talking to their athletic director, John Manicino, they were up in their open division game, Brian. I believe they're up like 16. And then momentum came back for Birmingham. They started pressing, and the whole game changed. So look for maybe the Royals to learn from that and apply some of their pressure like they did early on, guarding them a steal or two.
Our leading scorers our scorers in general for this game, for the Lancers, Jordan Taylor with 8 points, William Overton with 4, Kerry Slay off the bench with 5, Anthony Mignoy with 3, Amir Bentov with 4, Kai Satare with 3, and Ronald Merrill with 8. For the Royals, as the Lancers start off with this one, Merrill on the near side, moving across the arc into the corner left side. Medeiros missing the shot, offensive board, and that one flips out of bounds off of the hands of Taylor. So the Royals' leading scorer is Jaden Noziel with 8 points, Miller with 6, Ethan Orozco off the bench with 5, Roman Benedetti with 2, and Luke Jacobson with 3. And I think one of the keys that I see for the Royals is they need to get Benedetti back into the scoring range. This guy's been hot in the playoffs, scoring a career-high 32 officially in the first round of the state playoffs, as Noziel misses that three-pointer on the near side here. Rebounded by Taylor. Taylor to Overton, and immediately called for the travel.
Yeah, oftentimes when we see a scoring discrepancy like what Benedetti's looking at, a lot of that comes with a great deal of respect from the opponent. They did their homework. They watched last game, and they understood that this engine starts with Benedetti and sometimes finishes with him too. And Overton's done a good job guarding him this game and not letting him get loose for anything.
Benedetti to Mott. Back to Benedetti, into the corner, and having to recover the pass and driving in is Jacobson. And Jacobson with 5 now.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays you need. You need a physical play. You need to get to your spot, shoot it strong off of 2 feet. You don't always have to out-athlete a guy in basketball.
Merrill trying to get a 3-pointer. Overton with the rebound and the putback immediately. And Overton with 6 points. The lead back to 10, 37-27 here in the third quarter. CIF State SoCal Regionals second round. Winner goes to the semis.
I don't hate the shot from Jacobson there. It just needs a little bit more arch.
And we see the
Rhythm.
big man take a 3-pointer. Overton missing.
It's 2 big offensive rebounds in a row, Brian.
And Merrill
3.
missing
score
and
here. This is
getting the
gonna be
rebound.
tough. Yeah, that's a charge. Yep.
And guess who took the charge?
Well, he's taken 2. He's been rewarded for 1 of them this half. Lamott's definitely saying, I'm going to meet my quota of attempted charges in a game. The Harris coaching staff letting it known that they expect their boys to rebound.
Bentoff called for the charge. First charge of the contest. First foul of the quarter for the Lancers.
Royals running a little back screen, on-ball screen there, but failing to connect physically to set the screen. It's hard to create an advantage when you actually don't make the defender move.
And Miller looking for an outlet. Back to Benedetti. Benedetti drives the left side of the lane. Swatted out of bounds by Overton. Mission Prep maintains possession. And they reset the shot clock, but there was no touch at the rim.
See, Brian, I saw that weird rundown thing you were talking about. I almost wonder if it's saying 3.4 on the shot clock right now. I think it's saying 3.4. And that's why we're seeing it speed down so fast, is that the second digit is actually the 10th of a second. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. He's got to get off quick.
There we go. Thanks for figuring that out for me. And the miss by Nozil, rebounded by Overton. I didn't have time to stare at the clock. It was just a little confusing at first. Thought it was a glitch in the system.
Definitely. Well, I'm sure you could set that thing to do different things, actually.
Adding the
But
decimal
the
point
big
would
thing
help.
I'm seeing so far is where the Royals offense is struggling right now. They're struggling because they're struggling to get back buckets created by others right now. All of it's predicated on dribbling by my guy, and I am trying to take the shot.
And the miss on the near side by Morrill, and Taylor going to get called for the over the back.
Yeah, Coach Tariq frustrated there that saying his player was going straight up. Could very well be the case, but sometimes in basketball, embellishing something is part of the job. Miller did have his body in front of the senior guard there.
Deep 3-pointer, college range. No good for Jacobson, but the save by Miller through the legs of the defender. Mott comes up with it. Back to Jacobson, and Nozil loses it, but Jacobson recovers it for the Royals.
We got to screen. We got to hit the man. Yep. Benedetti sets a good screen, hits Nozil's defender, and that allows Nozil to have the slight advantage to attack the hoop.
And Nozil with 10, and the bucket waved off.
Now in the NBA, that thing's good, but you don't get continuation in high school.
And Roman Benedetti with his third.
Yeah, coach is telling him, giving him the 3 symbol, making sure he knows. Well, that's a good little play.
And the inbounds to Overton.
They run the screen, the cross screen there, forcing you to switch, which then leads into the inside seal by the offensive player. Good play design by Coach Tariq and his Lancers.
And the left elbow jumper, Nozil can't get it to sink. Rebounded by Overton. The 10-point lead maintained through this quarter and extended to 12.
That's smooth, Brian. That is a smooth crossover into a jumper. When you see that guy cross over and then just take 2 more steps with that right-left foot there. Most righties actually like shooting going left. It allows, we talked about it earlier this game, their right hip to get under their right elbow and have all of that in alignment as they rise up for the jumper.
41-29. We're going to take a quick timeout here as we have a timeout on the court taken by the Royals. Let's go to break.
Hyundai San Luis Obispo is proud to be a sponsor of Mission College Prep. For all first-time drivers, get $500 off your first purchase. Our team is here to make your car buying experience memorable and hassle-free. Drive away in this Kona today with 3.99 APR for 60 months. Because at Hyundai San Luis Obispo, we're not just selling cars, we're shaping unforgettable journeys.
Welcome back courtside. We're in the bleachers, live from Howie Levine Court inside Bill McKee Gymnasium.
So Brian, what I think we're hearing in that Royals huddle right now is, guys, they've won the first, whatever this has been, 5 minutes, 4 minutes here. They've won it by 2. Can we win the next 4 minutes by 4? Can we just chip into this lead? Can we try to cut this to 8 to 6 points? And we can't do it all in one possession. It's going to take good, consistent shot selection and then great defensive energy followed up with rebounding toughness.
And Nozil bringing it across the center stripe to Mott into the corner, bringing it up to the elbows, Miller.
Yeah, a little flex action to the double there.
Benedetti passes to his right to Nozil at the baseline. Bounce pass inside the lane.
Yeah.
And swatted on the shot is Benedetti. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Young hoopers watching here. That's what we kind of talked about that earlier. But when that baseline drive happens, if you're the offensive player in the opposite corner, you want to stay there so your guy can throw it to you. But then the defenders that are often guarding the wing player there turn around and they're already in help defense if they're well coached, and you're not playing basketball unless you're well coached. If you got to be in the state playoffs. It just can't get there without it. So that defender's in a good spot. But then Benedetti gets completely unchecked on the cut because the defender's doing his job and helping on the ball. So good offense actually makes the defense pay for being in position. Good cut from Benedetti.
And Benedetti completes both of those, back to the 10-point lead. And Minoy at the rim.
That's LA City basketball right there. I'm going to get in the paint, and I don't think you're going to stop me.
And Miller on the far side to Nozil, who drives the left side of the lane and off the window.
Nozil answers with his Central Coast basketball. I'm going to get in the paint, and you're not going to stop me as Braden Mott gets that tip steal.
And Benedetti loses the dribble, recovers with a chest-high pass to Nozil, who drives into the lane, and he loses it. Recovered by Merle and passes forward to Overton, who slams it in, bringing the fans to their feet here inside McKee Gymnasium.
Seeing him rise up with that lefty dunk reminds me of a Mission Prep alum, that's for sure.
And we are in another timeout. Royals trailing by 12. 2:32 remaining in the third quarter here on the NFHS Network.
As the road you travel changes, so can your insurance needs. Talking with Farmers Insurance Agent Jennifer White can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Call Farmers Agent Jennifer White today at 805-592-1272. That's Jennifer White at 805-592-1272.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Coming out of the timeout, 45-33.
Still got time to accomplish the goal we stated out of that last timeout. Can we cut this thing to 8?
The lead is
Still
12, but plenty of time to climb back into this one. We got over 10 minutes of ball game still remaining here.
Back-to-back threes, so it's 6-point game. So 12 is not insurmountable.
Nozil from the elbow to the rim and out of bounds off of Saleh, who tried to save it as Bentov knocked it out of bounds.
It's good defensive play. Stopping the Euro step from Nozil there.
2:14, 45-33.
I like Bentov's game. We've seen a diverse skill set from 22 of the Grant Lancers. They're getting the block on Nozil. We've seen him shoot a great catch and shoot jumper. This is what you gotta love about high school hoops. We've got the head coach,
You
back-to-back city champs, coach helping on the floor here.
And he
It's
grabbed
been
his sweater.
obvious inside the, in between the quarters and the game that he's a beloved figure in this community. I've seen him hug at least probably 10, 20 different people. Definitely kissed some babies. Don't know if they were his babies or some relatives of players or what's going on, but you got to love the love.
And he gets a round of applause from his bench as he ran over with his own sweater from the bench.
As he deserves.
Nozil to Jacobson in the corner. Back to Nozil, who drives in from the left wing to the key. And there's contact made. Bodies flying out of bounds.
Yeah, this is
and
where
Soleil can't catch it again.
Nozil's proved he can get to the rim with his dynamic 1-2 steps, but we're not getting the shot off as much anymore. So look for him to potentially switch this up and go back to what we would call kind of a power jump stop, where he gets strong in the paint off 2 feet and then rises up with strength.
8 seconds on that shot clock.
Back screen, rescreen here, but they wanted to slip that actually. I was about to critique Benedetti for not screening for Jacobson, but then the play was designed for him to slip that and throw it to him.
And we're back to 10, 45-35.
Bang, bucket.
And Merrill
says, I got you, coach.
with 10.
The quick answer.
That is the third Lancer to get to 10 points tonight. Merrill, Taylor, and Overton all with 10. 47 for Grant Lancers. And Miller getting tied up.
It was a good job. And you can tell the offensive player is going to win on the drive when his shoulders get by the defender's hips. And Miller did that, and then he, when I'm coaching little kids and I'm talking about an analogy, and you're driving down the freeway, sometimes you got to swerve into the other lane to cut off that car behind you so he can't get in front of you. And we saw Miller do that right there. Swerved in front of the defender, cut him off, and then had 2 more cars in front of him, but earned the foul. As Deuce Kellogg comes in for Miller here, 1:32 on the clock.
And they adjust the points. I was going to say they
are going to switch up their defense here. It looks like they're going to go into a 1-3-1 scenario. Yeah. So this often forces a team into a wide box look, which means bang.
And Overton driving it in.
But that's what you have to do against 1-3-1, Brian. You got to get to the corner and attack baseline and look weak side or just dunk.
And we're back to 12 on the lead. Jacobson with a 3-pointer, bouncing high off the glass. The lead cut to 9.
Coach not happy with the defensive rotation there, it looks like. But if I'm coach there, fire him up, remind him that this game is not over, but then make sure you come down and get another good-looking shot off like they did against the zone last time. Look for the Royals to potentially run some sort of pressure or trap here.
I don't think I would have been a good cheerleader watching them work. I'm a little
I've been
short.
watching their stunts, and they've done a great job with some different lifts and tosses today with the great safety crew below them. But, yeah, big shouts to a halftime show from the Lancer drumline. Just thoroughly entertained. You love to see the different programming that a high school can offer, Brian and I were talking about at halftime, finding some place for kids to fit in on campus.
And Mentov passing into the corner.
Ooh, so what just got called there is Bentov ran out of bounds and then came back inbounds. You're allowed to go out of bounds if the defender is impeding you or basically not allowing you to stay inbounds, but you're not allowed to just loop under the hoop. And that rule actually stems from some weird trick plays in a gym like this where a guy would run out one door and then run back in the other door.
I would love to see that someday. A little shenanigans. And the baseline drive, ball knocked out of bounds off of Jacobson.
And it's just too much dribbling. The Royals are at their best, like we've talked about, when creating for others. But nobody's in their prime sense. Maybe the Royals got 2 guys that are going to shake and bake with the ball. But the Lancers have proved they're going to be a good help defense. That's not the way to attack.
43 seconds remaining in the third
Again,
quarter.
the Royals are at 9 here. If you could just get a score and a stop, cut this thing to 7. You're still alive. There's no reason to panic yet.
Manoy, and the ball knocked loose by
You don't want
Deuce.
to do that. Well,
And Deuce making contact.
part of you might say, Kevin, shut up. It doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't put him on the line, but that does reset the shot clock. Now they're looking at a last-second shot, or being able to get a last-second shot versus the Royals having 10 on the clock.
And 27 seconds now, the pass to Bentov.
Really, if I'm the Royals, I don't want Overton getting it into that corner, having a replay of that dunk in the paint. So look for Noziel to anticipate that ball going that way here. Yeah, they're going to ball screen this, but they're going to ball screen it straight to help. Really smart play by Deuce in that situation with the foul. Again, why do you foul there? This makes the Lancers now have to inbound the ball with 6 seconds and get into an offensive action that they like. The coach is signaling just go for 20 here. Yeah, I got it to Overton.
And Deuce trying to get the steal. And Overton finds that seam to the rim. And Overton with 14. And we go to the break, trailing by 11. The Lancers 51-40 over the Mission Prep Royals.
California Fresh Market is more than just your local grocery store. A full-service deli featuring premium boar's head meats and cheeses, handmade take-and-bake pizza, fresh salad and olive bar, gourmet cheese department perfect for any occasion, sushi rolled daily, organic and locally sourced produce, wild-caught seafood, choice Prime and Snake River Farms American Wagyu beef, artisan sourdough bread, and full-service health and wellness. California Fresh Markets, the best on the Central Coast.
And that first quarter, that 23-15 first quarter, haunting the Royals here. Haven't been able to get back in the lead after exchanging the lead a total of 9 times in that first quarter, Kevin. They've been outscored by 2 in the second, 1 in the third, for a total of a 11-point lead.
Yeah, you've heard me say it before, Brian. Basketball is a game of runs, and there's a defining run in this game, and it is in the second quarter when the Lancers went to that 1-2-2 zone, and they got Mission out of their flow. Flow is a big thing that's talked about in all areas of the world these days, the professional world, athletic, endurance racing, you name it. The Royals did not have flow for 4 minutes there and did not score as a byproduct, and that's been the difference here.
The Royals scoring 15 in the third. The Lancers scoring 16. Benedetti left elbow passes to Mott. Mott climbing up to get that pass. And the pass to Jacobson left wide open. Can't get the dagger to drop to close the lead.
Now that possession looked like Royals basketball right there. The ball had multiple reversals. There were cuts. There were squeaks on the floor. Yeah, that's a good 3.
And Amir Bentov with 7 in the contest, his second 3.
I'm still struggling to come up with my NBA doppelganger shot by him because that totally looks like somebody out there.
And a wide open 3-pointer. Benedetti can't get it to drip through. And the rebound by Manoy. And Coach Harris yelling instructions at the far end of the court.
It has some Omar Caspi in it. Omar played for the Kings. Had a great game where he had like 9 or 10 threes against Curry. One of the best Israeli players, I believe.
And the foul on Mott, his first.
Man, I don't know if I'm right on that or not.
6:52 left in the game. The inbounds is Saleh up top on the right wing, excuse me. And the pass to Manoy knocked away, but he able to recover. And into the corner. No good on the 3-pointer for Kai. And the Royals with the defensive board. Noziel at the rim collecting the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. The Royals trailing by 14, 54-40 over the Ulysses S. Grant Lancers.
If I'm head coach of the Royals right now, I would live with every possession ended with 20 at the hoop off 2 feet into a body I think we're shooting a wide open three, but we're going to live with that possession. It's going to end up in free throws most of the time. The clock's going to stop. Requires us not to have to sub. You can score points while the clock is not moving here. Might allow you a good opportunity to set up a press. There's the Royals answering with an offensive rebound.
And Noziel 1 for 2 on that trip. Has 13 right now. His 23rd double-digit game of his season. Put that into perspective, we're at game 32.
Yeah, Noziel's really matured for the Royals all season long. He had to shake off some football pads at the start of the season and get touchback going for the basketball. But since then, he's really come into his own in his junior year. Yeah, we see a little press. Thought we might see this from the Royals. Lancers do a great job staying spaced, breaking it. Oh, got the late foul on Noziel as he thought he's got a clean block off.
And Jacobson converting both. The lead cut to 11. The foul on Noziel. Second team foul.
Casanova Espino Medeiros here. Haven't called that name yet today, but I believe he was a starter. I noticed those dual-colored shoes.
He was a starter.
Game. Senior, averaging 4 a game. One of those players that does the intangibles for a team. Doesn't necessarily fill up the traditional scorebook in a basketball game, because in its traditional scorebook, all they're keeping track of is points and fouls.
Medeiros missing the first, getting ready to shoot the second.
You know, the Mission Prep Royals have a Medeiros family of their own, 2 soccer players. Roman Medeiros, junior on the men's soccer team, and then Izzy Medeiros, the girls' soccer team, was co-MVP of the Ocean League this year. The Mission Prep Royals won a CIF title last Friday.
Three-pointer from Noziel, off target, rebounded by Medeiros. And Medeiros' free throw was his first points of the contest. And we have a whistle in favor of the Royals.
There is, yeah, coach isn't happy with his offensive players' decision making there. And we saw the same type of action not work for Noziel of the Royals with that 1-2 step, and then you've got to jump, and you don't always have something to do with the ball.
Jacobson, right elbow, can't get it to sink. Someone needs to crack the lid open for these Royals.
Yeah, we got 1 point this quarter now, 3.
3 points.
Free throws. None are conventional buckets.
Yeah, that's tough when you can't get points to sink. And Manoy called for the travel, and coach rips the ball out of his hand as he's standing in front of coach.
Yeah, I think I could coach with Coach Tariq. It looks like one of his non-negotiables is toughness and ball security. Two things high on my priority list as a coach.
Benedetti trying to shake the defender and does just that for the deuce. And Benedetti with 8 tonight.
You're a Royal fan. You want to see number 11 heating up like an NBA jam. Maybe we'll see him on fire eventually here with the block from Jacobson as he comes up with his own rebound. Now can we convert?
55-45.
I call that 5th. I did not record that offensive one. But those are the type of plays you need for the Royals. You need a score, and then you need a quick stop, and you need to put pressure back on the home team here as they run their flare screen again for Jacobson, who banks that!
And Jacobson with 13 now.
Good setup, good assist by Noziel, his 3rd of the game. Got to shout the screen from Roman Benedetti, but the on-time pass leads to the on-time rhythm shooter, Jacobson. Steal by Miller, kicks it ahead to Noziel. Oh, that could have been transition.
And Miller saves it as Bentoff sailed out of bounds trying to save that for his squad. The Royals with it.
Yep.
And contact underneath by Overton.
So some people might have been like, what is Noziel trying to do there? But he's trying to go for the reverse layup. I think he was worried about Overton's ability to block the shot on the left side of the hoop. So he said, you know what, I'm going to swoop this onto the other side. And if you saw the Royals' second game with the St. Joseph Knights, St. Joe's is running around with some 6'8", 6'9", athletes out there, and then some 6'3", 6'4" guys that play like they're 6'9". And one of the remedies to getting your shot off around that bigger, taller athlete is making it look like you're going to shoot on one side and then getting that ball to the other side of the rim. Something our young hoopers who don't think they're going to grow too much should start developing at a young age, Ryan.
Royals have closed the gap. And just a little bit more.
Yep, free throws are going to be important here. Offensive rebounds are going to be important, and turnovers.
Nozile with 14.
This is a close game. It's 6 points. This is just 2-possession basketball, really. You need stops. Coach Donovan of the Royals trying to inspire that bench to make some noise defensively here.
And the lead cut to 5. Nozile doing his work at the charity stripe.
The Royals looking to trap the first inbounds pass, but see, Benedetti's just got to know and keep his hands up there. He's won the positioning battle. He needs to put his foot on half court and then prove I'm not fouling in that scenario. Not only does that stop the play, but it's the young man's 4th foul, more importantly here.
And the inbounds to Overton from Soleil. And stepping on the side bounds.
Tell you what, I was worried there when Overton caught that ball at the elbow.
And the Mission Prep fans getting excited here.
Look for the Royals to draw something up for shooter Benedetti here.
Jacobson, three-pointer, near side, no good. Trying to climb the ladder and does is Overton. Overton in front of his bench, double teamed. The high pass recovered by Merle.
You don't have to, you just got to play here for the Royals. You don't need to do anything you don't normally do. You need to play your best defensive possession you can.
Taylor kicks it out to Overton, can't get a three-pointer to drop.
Oh, that's a tough break for the Royals there. You go from thinking you're going to get that charge and then fouling on the shot.
And that sends Overton to the line for 3. The foul on Jacobson.
Let's see if Overton can say, not so fast, Royals, as he preps for the first of 3 free throws.
Misses in the first. Still a 5-point lead.
So now
3:56 remaining.
Here with 4 minutes left. You don't need to play super fast, but you need to get good shots off. So I like them going to an action that they've practiced before, that they've been running all season. You don't need to reinvent the wheel right now. You just need to create an advantage for one of your scorers and then let him do his thing.
Overton with 15, matching Nozile's for the game high.
Knowing Coach Harris, I would expect to see some movement and screens here for the Royals. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that 1-2-2 out of the Lancers.
And Overton going 1 for 3 at the stripe. Nozile to Jacobson, to Nozile, driving in from the elbow. And contact made. And that's going to be Taylor's 4th. And Taylor's been a big part of this defense for the Lancers.
This game's going to get tight here. We got guys playing for their survival of their senior year of basketball. So expect to see intensity from both sides.
And the Royals have the advantage here in the 4th as the Lancers are in bonus. Nozile making the first, 16 for Nozile.
Expect to see Coach Harris call timeout here.
17.
Yep.
Hey, did you text Coach Harris, get that information?
No, you just, as a former coach, you read body language, and when a coach looks like he's whispering nothing into a referee's ear in this kind of situation, it's often he wants a timeout. So the Royals have run their 1-2-2 press the last couple possessions where they trap the inbounds pass. Look for them to have something that looks like that, but then potentially not trap the inbounds pass, try to bait them into thinking that's coming and dropping a player into a different passing line here. 4-point game, Brian. This is what you want. And they were down 11 at the quarter. They fought it back. Again, you can't win this game in one possession here, but can you frustrate the Lancers to where they don't get a shot that they like? Big play could be Taylor offensive foul if Mott can slide in. Take a charge, that would definitely shift momentum. But this game is far from over. I wouldn't doubt if this last 4 minutes takes us 20 minutes of real time.
If you're just jumping on board, our leading scorers tonight are Jaden Nozile for the Royals and William Overton of the Lancers. Nozile with 17, Overton with 15.
Yeah, I've
3:45.
enjoyed watching Overton play, watching him fly through this game.
And when he flies, he gets above the rim and then some. Jordan Taylor, guarded by Nozile, swims past him, kicks it out to Morrow, who brings it into the lane, spins on the jumper,
Good shot.
and gets the jumper to fall.
Sometimes it's good D, but better O.
58-52,
We saw that
6-point
action
lead.
get created by 5. Taylor meeting Nozile's pressure with aggression. When a guy's pressuring you at half court, you have to be aggressive to go by him.
And Nozile spinning to the paint for
The
19 tonight. 3 minutes.
Royals appear to be in their man-to-man here.
This lead was as much as 14 in this quarter, now
Lancers
4.
are okay with Taylor driving and attacking. Well, I said that situation could happen. Mott tried for the charge.
And Benedetti getting tipped on the shot and missing.
Yeah, that player did a good job not biting on the first step of Benedetti's Euro step there. Look for Taylor to just attack with space again here, try to create an advantage.
Overton to the near side. Bentoff guarded by Jacobson. Demaro guarded by Miller.
Lancers willing to run some clock here. Smart
Crossover,
decision.
right elbow, jump shot pulled up, no good.
It's textbook footwork.
And the foul on the hardwood.
Wow, it's going to be a foul on Benedetti. Interesting. Didn't like that box out. Turn, and sometimes when you turn and get into what they might call a face box out or a face-to-face box out, they're going to call that hand check.
And that's 5 for Benedetti.
You hate to see that call when a defender has inside position on a box out on a long rebound. And Coach Harris clearly not happy about that one.
And Coach talking to Ethan Orozco. This is your moment to shine. We need you to come up clutch. Here is your instructions. Go out there and get it done.
We got Saleh going to the free throw line here for 2. Again, the rule changes here. Foul after 5 fouls constitutes 2 free throws now. Saleh's proved himself as a shooter. Good arc, good backspin on that ball. Nothing but net.
Soleil with 6. The Lancers are 3 for 7. Sorry, 3 for 6 right now. Now 3 for 7.
Nozile with the
Spoke that
rebound
into
there.
existence. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Nozile coming
It's
across.
5 points. You just need to get a shot off you like.
Miller to
Preferably
Nozile.
faster than slower.
And Orozco, 3-pointer from
You're
the
gonna
corner
take
is good. And Orozco with 8 tonight.
Nozile with his fourth assist of the game at a big time. Can't pressure too much. That leads to a dribble drive by you. You don't want to make it easy for the offensive player either.
And the defense closing in on Taylor as he passes back out to Merrill.
Help defense. You got to be in the lanes. It's good
And
defense
that ball
by
goes
Miller.
out of
Yep.
bounds off of the Lancers Mission Prep ball.
Again, you don't need to force if you're the Royals here. You're in a great position. 90 seconds left, down 2. Again, get a shot you like. It's clear they're going into an action they've run before. Look for a potential flare screen set up again.
And the shot up and missed by the Royals.
And Nozile gets to his patented pull-up jumper there. Might have been an overpressure from Mott. Good job going straight up by Nozile there. As
And
Jacobson
Orozco with
pokes
the
it away.
steal. And the Soleil with the steal back for the Lancers. And 54 seconds, we have a whistle on the court.
Yeah, so much of what's lost in basketball these days is manipulating passing lanes. and you'd love to see, we saw it in the Division I final with Clovis North and St. Joe's. The Clovis North guards did such a good job jump stopping in the paint, ball faking, drawing multiple defenders in the air, and then passing it. And Roscoe could have done that, or maybe used a ball fake there to get it to the corner. It's all easier said than done when you're just sitting up watching the game and you don't have a high heart rate and emotions tied to it.
35 seconds remaining in this timeout. Our score 59-57. The Royals have climbed back, cutting the lead to 2. Was once 14 in this quarter. All on the back of Jaden Nozil, the junior, who has been in this position before with his senior center, Luke Jacobson, as both of these two individuals, along with J.J. Howard, competed to get to the semifinals in the state SoCal Regionals last year.
Yeah, Roman saw a lot of minutes in this group in those games as well. But other than that,
yes,
the Royals did go through a major reload this year. The team consisting of basically all juniors except for sophomore Deuce Kellogg and senior Luke Jacobson.
Well, yeah, that's about correct. And then plus the add-ons of Colton Mott and Noah Werner
from our JV team, 2 young freshmen for the Royals. So the Royals look to be in a 2-2-1 press here. It's a zone press. Wouldn't doubt if they fall back into their 2-3 actually, but you don't need to foul here. You got 20 seconds of shot clock differential. You need to play good D and get a stop, and then you need the ball. And then it's do or die time. Get the ball. That's the most important thing.
Merrill bringing it across to Soleil on the near side. 8 on the shot clock.
We don't want to foul. It's a rebound.
And the ball. Miss. The rebound by Orozco.
Percentages
22
say
seconds.
Let your team play here. Percentages say let your team play here. Don't call a timeout and let the defense set up. The Royals already talked about what they're going to get into. The handoff with Nozil and Mott. Nozil attacks, does his thing.
And 8.7 seconds, Nozil is fouled, and he will go to the line.
So who is that on?
That is...
Not sure who it is on that, but these are big free throws, Brian. We saw Nozil make 2 earlier this week. Needs to make these 2 right here.
They called They called that on Taylor, but Taylor, in my book, already had 4 fouls. But they're saying he only has 4 on the books now. As Nozil makes that first one, and the Royals near perfect. They are 12 for 13 in this half at the free throw line. 15 of 18, 15 of 19 overall.
So Brian, let's talk through the scenarios here. With if you're mission prep, what are you talking about in this timeout? What are you talking about if you're the Lancers? If you're the Lancers and mission makes this, you're going to get the ball inbounds, and I would give it to my guy. I would like the ball to be in, I'd like Overton throwing it from out of bounds into Taylor's hands. And I would want Taylor going hard, right-handed down the hill with 2 options. Meet me at the rim, or I am going to draw defenders and then kick it back to the dynamic attacker, Overton. If you're the Royals here, you need to make this free throw. Right, then you need to be prepped for what are you going to do defensively if you make it. You need to be matched up already with who you're guarding. If you miss it, you need a fast foul as you're down 1.
And the rumble through the gymnasium as Nozil ties this up. That's our 4th tie of this contest.
The Royals press to try to screw up the flow of the Lancers.
Soleil driving that baseline. The shot up.
Bang.
Not in.
Wow.
The miss, and we go to overtime.
Oh, I thought that was in, Brian.
Oh, my heart did stop for a second.
Overton was there. He almost had that putback as well. Shoot, what else could you want from a state playoff basketball game? 4 more minutes of this?
4 more minutes of action.
We'll see if Roman Benedetti fouling out has an impact here, but you know what? When Ethan Orozco came into the game, he proved I can play here too, coach, and hit that fast 3. to help the Royals gain momentum here. But we got 4 more minutes. What else could we want? We're down here in Van Nuys, California, at the home of the back-to-back Division I city champions, the Grant High Lancers. Mission Prep Royals on the road, trying to keep their second state appearance in back-to-back years alive.
I know when I love that they get to say that they're city champions.
Yeah, it's
That,
cool.
because that's a tough thing. I know, like,
It's a big old city.
it's a big city. When you look at, like, I think of Santa Maria, we have 4 high schools that compete regularly against each other. There's a 5th and 6th high school that are intermixed into that. VCA, so Santa Maria, Pioneer Valley, Rigetti, St. Joseph, and then Valley Christian Academy
Don't forget
and Orchid
about- yeah,
Academy.
Orchid, yep.
That's so 5 and 6. And they don't all play each other, so you can't really have a city championship there. In San Luis Obispo, there's only 2 schools.
Now, the closest thing we get to is the All-Star game, where it's Santa Barbara County versus the SLO County boys and ladies. I think that's coming up. It's the end of the next month. Yeah, that's a great event put on by one of our local service groups. They've run that thing for years. I got to coach it one year. It's a lot of fun, especially when it's kids I grew up, cut my teeth coaching high school basketball with. I think we had another issue with the shot clock there.
They're going to re-jump it.
And as I look at our table here, I think our shot clock and our scoreboard operator might be the same human. And that is not an easy task for one man to do. Kind of surprised to see that.
And Taylor gets charged. Is that? No, he's going to go to the line to shoot 2. The blocking foul on Ethan Orozco.
There wasn't foul trouble in that first half. Yeah, it looks like he's got his 4th here for the Royals as well.
So Taylor at the line here in overtime. And we are still tied 59 apiece with 5 seconds gone. And Jordan Taylor with his 2nd attempt. 10 points tonight for Taylor. And the bounce, and somebody's put a lid on that bucket here in the last minutes.
Interesting call here.
And we do have that whistle. A lane violation
Yeah.
on Jacobson.
That or it might have been on, I thought he was holding up 5 fingers, but I'm not quite sure there.
It was
I'm gonna
either
trust
Orozco or
you.
Jacobson,
So I
both
said
on the
we
near
could
side
see it.
here. And the miss
Wow.
on that one, so in favor
Royals got a
of the
blessing
Royals.
cast on them there. Taylor
As
goes 0 for 3.
there's
I
a-
don't know, Brian. If we're in a need to foul situation, I don't think I'd mind fouling Taylor at this point.
And 0 for 2 on that trip.
See, this
Orozco
is
looking
where
for
we
an
can't
outlet.
just stand and watch the ball. There has to be movement away from the basketball.
And Nozil goes to the rim, missing. Murrow.
Not only does that
was-
movement create opportunities for the other offensive players, but it makes the defenders have to run around with them.
I'm trying to figure out how that was off of a Royal.
Well, a lot of times the refs are going to reward that to the team that's not initiating the swatting of the ball. Might not be the right call, but that is what it looks like. I could have saw that going other way. Very surprised with that call. I thought that was a classic slip with no hands on the guy.
And Nozil not happy with it. Overton goes to the line to shoot a pair. Nozil only with 2 as we remain in bonus here. Lancers are 0 for 2 at the free throw line in this quarter of overtime. The first one made. And Overton was 16. 60 to 59, 3:18. Second one is good. Overton finds that range. 17 for Overton. His last 3 points have all been free throws. Nozil on the near side.
Royals look like they're trying to set up an action here with the back screen for Nozil. Mott's probably going to pop. Might go back to a handoff.
And Nozil at the free throw line. Jumper no good. And able to save the possession is Jordan Taylor on the rebound. Tippy-toeing the free throw, the
Again,
sideline.
You don't want to overpressure. That gives up the rim for Taylor.
2-point lead. Lancers leading the Royals, 61-59.
Royals down in their stances. You see Brody Miller competing tough, not letting Taylor post him up. See Noziel on the weak side if they do throw it in.
Merrill, same shot that Noziel took, no good.
Yeah, 2 hands. You gotta want the ball. This is the type of game where it needs to be. I don't care how many guys on the other jersey are in front of me. I'm gonna go get my 2 hands on the basketball.
And Noziel with the steal
Tell you
off
what,
the
Noziel
window.
said, I'm gonna get my 2 hands on that ball. Might have been 1 as he poked that away, ties up the game.
And Noziel telegraphed that pass.
Wow.
It was a slow, lazy pass almost. And he's like, okay, thanks, I'll take it.
He's had great timing. He had some key steals as a freshman in our playoff run 2 years ago.
And Bintoff with some shenanigans in the lane as he drives. And Jacobson, this could give the lead to the Royals.
Good.
And the miss. And Jacobson
it's a great decision.
will go to the line to shoot 2. That is going to be Jordan Taylor's 5th
And
if it's given to Taylor.
If you're asking, like, why do I think that's a great decision there? Taylor's not going to have the time to get there and then take a charge. He's going to have to try to get a block. And in that type of situation, when you're the bigger body from Jacobson, it's got to be meet me at the rim mode and make the guy foul you. You're on your strong hand side. This is the shot you've shot the most in your entire life, a strong-handed layup. It's the first shot little hoopers are making.
And Jordan Taylor fouls out of the game.
Jacobson typically a pretty good free throw shooter for the Royals, right, Brian?
Yes, sir. Most Royals are. They've only missed 4 in this contest.
Bummer.
Missing that one.
Man, did I put the wrong energy into the universe there. Well, man, isn't this a great game? Tied up still. 1:42 on the clock. Royals with the free throw.
1:42.
Seniors playing to survive.
And the Royals with the lead. As I'm throwing my pin around.
Minoy with the ball here, trying to square up on Orozco. Mott with the big charge. We've seen it time and time again. That's his 4th or 5th attempt this game. Big-time players making big-time plays. That is Mission Prep alum giving the high five to Braden Mott on the baseline. That is former point guard and golfer Landon Smith. Made the trip up from San Diego State to come cheer on his former teammates. Gotta love the timely high five from the former Mission Prep point guard.
You were watching that. I was watching the cheerleaders and the home fans cheer.
No way the home fans are going to be happy with that call.
They were at first. They thought it was in favor of the Lancers, and then they saw it go the other way, and it went sour quick.
My high school teammates and I call that's a M. Night Shyamalan twist right there.
The plot twist here.
Yes. That's the Royals up 1. Haven't seen it all half. Miller 3.
Yes.
Great setup from Mott.
Brody Miller with his 3rd tray of the night.
Oh, we saw him do that in the finals.
4-point lead
Now
for the
they need to
Royals.
stop, though. Game's not over. Give it to him again.
And the bodies hit the floor.
We talk about back-to-back buckets, but that's back-to-back charges, Brian.
And Minoy on the hardwood as he plowed through the set. Braden Mott.
Yeah, it looks like that might be, he's shaking his fingers. I was thinking that might be a loss of wind or hitting oneself below the belt there. But bodies were on the floor there. But this is playoff basketball. This is LA City. It's meet me at the rim. You're going to attack the rim, there's going to be bodies there. But what we see in playoff basketball so often, charges can be a deciding factor in this game. You got to be unselfish. You got to be smart. You got to be positionally aware to be able to draw a charge.
Royals up 65-61. Hopefully we can get Coach Harris on after the game.
As a former coach, I was trying to inspire my team to take charges, so I was demoing it one day, and I can't believe how sore my rear side was. So Mott's going to have some soreness tomorrow. He's going to earn himself an ice bath, maybe a jacuzzi, as we dial this thing in for the last minute and 5. Royals up 4.
Well, I can tell you that on Tuesday night after the win in Pomona, I went and met up with a team for dinner at the hotel, and coach instructed his team they had 5 minutes to go jump in the pool and enjoy the cold temperatures, or you were getting an ice bath. And there was only 2 players that chose to take an ice bath, and one of them was Nozil.
Not surprised there. I'm trying to think right now, okay, if I'm the Lancers, what am I doing defensively? I want to apply pressure. I need to get a steal quickly. I don't like letting 35 seconds run off the shot clock here and just hoping for a stop. I'm probably trying to get a steal in the front court here, or I'm going to foul once it's crossed half court. But I want to take 1 or 2 stabs at a steal. If I'm the Royals here, I want to run as much clock as I can off of this with a guy I trust getting the ball to shoot free throws here. I would expect a quick foul. So I'm going to put guys I trust at the line around the basketball early. If they don't see a foul, try to work the clock off. But the Royals still need to score. I don't feel comfortable until I got 68 points on the scoreboard here.
The fans chanting in unison, D up. The Royals on offense. Jacobson to Mott, and out of bounds. Mission prep ball.
Call. Wow.
You don't charge the referees.
You don't like to see that. She's going to have to leave. That was the right call. The defensive player was out of bounds. Defensive player was out of bounds. That wasn't the wrong call. It's a bummer to see bad or good officiating treated like this. It's a high pressurized environment. You can't step out of bounds and touch the ball.
And you can't step onto the court if you're not a player or an official.
Yeah, and you certainly can't make a demonstrative move towards an official. But again, I'm surprised the Lancers aren't fouling here.
And the block by Soleil.
10 seconds.
And Manoy gets these fans on their feet.
That's a rhythm.
And the jumper from Soleil missed. And the rebounded by Orozco.
Run clock.
And the foul immediately on Nozil. These home fans are not happy with the last 30 seconds that have transpired here.
No, this is an emotional time for everybody. Everybody's deeply invested in their team. The community's rallying behind them, whether they're the home team or the visiting team. But see, this is a storyline that worked for the Royals last game, free throws. And they finished it down there at stretch tonight.
And
still up 4. That's 2 buckets worth of time. But I like I said, I would feel good at 68 points here if I'm the Royals. That's up by 3 buckets, but not. We're still in 2-bucket territory here. So 5 helps. That makes it a 3 and a 2. You really don't want to foul if you're the Royals here.
Nozil with 24 in this contest. And a blocking foul on Nozil. And going to the line to shoot 2 is going to be Manoy. And we need another towel on the court.
I mean, these guys have been playing for now 35 and a half minutes. It's, what I love about these types of gyms, Brian, is they get a little sticky. You leave here and you're like, man, I hope I got some a wet towel in the car before my 3-hour drive home.
It's called baby wipes.
Yeah, well, for some of us, it's baby wipes. For some of us, it's maybe dude wipes or what you see on advertised online, or it's a old school wet towel.
Hey,
that was one of my OG coaching trips leaving a Vegas coaching tournament. I would have already scouted out a door I could push open to get into a bathroom to soak a towel.
66-61, 5-point lead.
So we talked about it, free throws here. We got senior Anthony Manoy able to draw this thing to 3 points with the made free throw here.
4 points. Now 3 points.
Yep. So here, if you're the Lancers here, you got to eventually foul. You don't have to right away, which is what they're doing. They're trying to get that steal, and they do.
And Manoy to the rim, kicks it out to Overton.
I like
Overton pulls up for a 3-pointer, comes up short, and the rebound stays with the Lancers.
You need the ball if you're the Royals. You need the ball.
And Jacobson clears out the baseline with the ball. And contact made on Nozil.
Situationally great decision-making from the Lancers there. They didn't foul in the front court. They got the steal. They got a 3 for senior Overton, and then they got another decent look at 3 from, I think, was that 24? D'Angelo Jordan? No, Kai
Satare?
Yeah, Satare, who's already knocked down a 3 in this game. Those are both good looks. I mean, when you're talking about scenarios, what do you want to do, what are you going to accomplish? You've got to be happy with what they accomplished there.
And Nozil missing the first.
Really want Nozil to knock this free throw down. It would put the game at 4 points. And then after a made bucket, I don't know if Coach Tariq has any timeouts, but you can just let the clock run. The clock does not stop after a made bucket. So if the Lancers did score, it's a 3-point game. The Royals could foul here and put them on the line.
And a timeout. Wait.
Yeah, so what I expect here is with this 3-point differential, the Royals to talk about fouling, to talk about letting 1-2 seconds go off the clock and then foul and try to cut into the time allotment that the Lancers have here to get a good 3 off. So conversely, if I'm the Lancers, what am I thinking about? I'm trying to draw up a play that can get a 3 off of the inbounds pass. Why? Well, we're down 3. That gives us an opportunity to, 1, shoot before they foul, but then that crazy play where Chris Brosh grabs the offensive rebound, kicks it back out to Ray Allen, could be in play. So some of the actions you see teams do here, might see multiple screens along the baseline freeing up a corner 3. You might see a player flashing towards the inbounder from the key area to catch and then quickly throw it back to the inbounder who's already in alignment at the hoop. Or one thing we've seen a lot in college basketball lately is run a bunch of misdirection at the ball side corner and then set some sort of flare screen and see a long over the top pass to the weak side of the court. And reading body language is what I always do as an assistant coach in these roles, where you don't have to talk to your team, or the head coach is talking, trying to figure out what the other team's doing. And I'm seeing a lot of pointing towards this weak side, and I would not be surprised if I saw 20 Manoy getting the ball there, or 24. I mean, if I'm drawing this up, ideally, I don't know these players like their coach does, but I love Bentov's looks for 3
He's
so
at
far
2
this game. Yeah, and they're just good
He's
rhythm
at 2
threes.
made.
Now they're set shot 3s where we've seen 35, 20, and then 24 shoot more of jump shot style 3s this game.
6.2 seconds. The
This
inbound
is
by
exciting.
Bentov, guarded by Jacobson. We'll try to keep the camera steady for you.
Yeah, we saw
the
that flare
inbounds
screen.
to Manoy, and he loses the possession. And the last second shot, no good. Inside the lane, and the tip does go.
Wow.
But it's too late. Soleil with the tip, a 65-66 win for the Royals as Soleil gets that final tip in.
Wow,
and the Royals move on in overtime. Their first overtime game of the season, picking up their win. And we're going to the semifinals. You know why that's a good thing?
Wow.
Because my boss texted me in this game and told me he had Saturday covered. So I got something to do on Saturday.
Good job. I'm going to have to text my boss and see if I'm free as well. I'm going to have to get down here, or I think we'll find out who we play tonight at like 9 o'clock probably, right, Brian?
Yeah, we're going to have to wait. We're going to, by the time we get home.
Do you know who those opponents are? I don't know off
I
the
did
top
not.
of my head.
I did not pull up the
It's
bracket.
all right. If you're looking for the central section, or excuse me, the state basketball bracket, you can find that on Max Preps. Max Preps, search your Mission College Prep Royals, and then select the schedule tab, and up at the top, there'll be a link to the state playoff bracket there. CCAA member with the Royals last night, St. Joseph Knights, having a big win, similar to tonight's scenario, but they had a last-second shot go in. I believe they were up 3. Some free throws went in, or they were up 2. Sierra Canyon came down and hit a big 3, and then the St. Joseph Knights responded, led by Tunde, with a turnaround jumper near the free throw line, making that shot.
And here are our final stats. We're going to wait for Coach Harris to come up from the team meeting in the key. Jaden Noziel with 24 tonight.
Wow.
Ethan Orozco with 8 off the bench.
Timely 3, Brian. He came in when Benedetti fouled out and hit a big 3.
He did. Ethan Orozco with that big 3 to get us back into this contest. Luke Jacobson finished with 14. Brody Miller with 11. Roman Benedetti with 8. The Lancers able to corral Benedetti, but Noziel took flight and captured the win for the Royals, or at least contributed heavily in that factor. On the other side of the ball, William Overton led with 17 for the Lancers. Jordan Taylor fouled out, but finished with 10. Kerry Soleil off the bench with 8. Anthony Manoy off the bench with 7. Casanova Espino Maderas with 1. Amir Bentoff with 7. Kai Satera with 3. And Ronald Merle with 12. The win to the Mission Prep Royals. They advance. Follow me on Twitter, Stanley on Sports. I'll give you all the updates you need for the next round on Saturday, where we'll be, what time the tip-off will be, and how we're going to get there.
You know, Brian, it's always a goal of basketball teams. Let's play in March. The Royals just accomplished that goal tomorrow, I believe. March 1st.
Yeah,
We're
it
playing
is.
March 2nd.
It's a leap day.
It's crazy.
What craziness can happen?
You know what? Leap day. Is that tomorrow?
That's today, February 29th.
Mission Prep Hoopers, Angelo and Hunter Drake are both leap day birthdays. They're having their 4th birthday.
That's great.
Crazy.
Let's see if we can go to Coach Harris. We're going to yell out to him real quick. Hold on a second. Hey, Coach Harris!
Yeah, Coach Harris looks like he's got some
he was looking for me the other
old
day.
buddies in the gym coming to say hi.
He said he had on Tuesday at dinner, he said he had a handful of best friends that lived within 10 miles of this.
I've seen the photos of these gentlemen. I haven't got to meet them yet. Big shouts to Chris Richardson, Mission Prep supporter, making the drive down here. Wouldn't doubt if he carpooled with good friend Josh Jacobson.
Coach T!
Coaching staff just in disbelief
Coach
right
T!
now over this come from behind victory. Exciting time.
He's getting some love. We're trying to get his attention. How would you break down this win ultimately for the Royals today? The way they came back after being down 14 to win by 1.
It's a game of momentum, Brian. And I often talk about it when I'm coaching is they're going to go on runs. We're going to go on runs. We don't need to play better than them for 32 minutes. We don't even need to be better than them for 5 minutes. Can we play them even and be better than them for 2 minutes? Now, the Royals certainly had a stretch there in the second quarter where they were not the better team. But then they played Grant even through the third quarter, and then they absolutely went lopsided there back in the 4th, made their big run, and then held on, got up in the overtime, and then held on with dear life. Some timely free throws. But big shouts to the Grant Lancers. Had a good venue here for some high school basketball. The energy in the gym was high the whole time with their cheer staff, with the stunt group, and then their drum line, making the vibrations felt.
The vibrations felt through this one. And the Royals return to the SoCal Regional semifinals for the 2nd consecutive year, looking for a trip to the big dance to get to the regional finals and then get all the way up to Sacramento, the Golden One Arena. The road to Golden One continues. And I don't think we're going to get Coach up here today. I'm watching him.
He's vibing.
He is vibing. He's looking around. He's looked right past me like 6 times. I'm standing up. I'm the biggest guy in the room right now. But we're going to go ahead and call this one a wrap. We'll try to catch up with Coach Harris. Let's see if we can flag him down one more time before we officially sign off. Hey, look at that. He caught me.
I guess that means it's my turn to leave, Brian.
Kevin Hitchen, appreciate you joining us for the broadcast. Hopefully you can join us on Saturday.
Look forward to being there. Congratulations, Coach. Hell of a job, man.
Coach, we got a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, we don't have the selfie cam today because that's locked away.
That's all right.
But let's talk this one over. In the 4th quarter, your squad's down 14. What are you telling them?
I told him one possession at a time. We got to give everything we got. But honestly, shots weren't falling for us. We were a little passive, and shots weren't falling for us. We simplified. We ran one play, like 7, 8 possessions in a row, just trying to get us aggressive and downhill.
Hey, I think of Jackie Moon.
Hey.
Run into puke.
And we did. But you know what? Stan, what have we talked about? Perseverance, hearts of champions. You can't tell me these guys aren't champions. I don't care. I mean, we're gonna keep playing every game we can, but there's not a specific game or an outcome that defines whether or not they're champions. That's already made up in my mind. This group, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I got another particular question. We had Roman Benedetti foul out.
Absolutely.
I saw you walk down the bench to Ethan Orozco.
Yeah.
What did you tell him that fired him up to get him in this game? Because as soon as he entered that court, he dropped a big three-pointer, give the momentum back to the Royals.
Ethan's got nerves of steel. The kid has nerves of steel, and I just told him, this is your time. This is your time. You are ready for this. Go out there, play hard, play smart. And
he delivered.
He did what Ethan does. He knocked down a shot, then he turned it over, but then he came down and played great defense. I mean, he's just got nerves of steel, so I had no doubt that he was ready in that moment.
And then,
by the way, B, that's also one of those things where Roman was out for so many games, right?
Yeah.
That it's not like, oh no, we can't play without him. We are a much better team with Roman Benedetti in our lineup. But these guys also believe that they believe in themselves because they've had that experience.
Ethan played a crucial role in the absence of Benedetti, stepping up for an individual who missed the entire last season with injury. So a great performance this season all around for Orozco. My last question for you, and then I'm going to let you get back to celebrating because I know you got a lot of friends and family here tonight.
Yeah.
Is Noziel, it was tight down the stretch. Noziel telegraphed a lackadaisical pass. I think that pass was a little lazy.
Yeah.
And he telegraphed it, took the steal, took it to the rim, and it was able to get an opportunity out of it.
Hey, that's the defensive back in him. That's the safety in him, right? He, in the CIF championship game, there were 2 of those. One that he got and one that he almost had. He was right there. He was ready. Ended up not getting it, and they hit a 3, and that was like one of those waterfall moments. But he's so good at anticipating, and he's a defensive back, and he made a defensive back play. He was special when we needed him. He missed some free throws, but he made 2 huge free throws in that fourth quarter, and just got to the rim over and over in that fourth quarter. I mean, he was a man. Just really proud of these guys. I'm proud of the guys that didn't play. I'm proud of them because they didn't take away energy on the bench. They were so life-giving on the bench, just engaged and positive and believing. It was great.
Coach, you go to the semifinals of the SoCal Regionals for the second time in a row, second year in a row.
It's pretty special.
It is pretty special. How does that feel for you to be able to educate these athletes to get them to that point? Because without you can't. They can't get there. But without them, you can't get there.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, again, they're champions. My job is just to be a shepherd. But these guys have been they've been fantastic, and some of them have tasted this before. So they wanted to get back. They expected to get back, and I think they were at a point where you can't tell them anything like, hey, we don't belong here. They just believe that they belong here the whole year. And we had to earn our way, and we weren't doing that early. But we've done it down the stretch.
And down the stretch, you have done it. You're now improved to 8-2 in the last 10 games, Coach. We're going to the semifinals. We'll be back in Southern California on Saturday. Don't know where. We'll find out by the time we get home.
Isn't this fun, B?
I'm having a great time.
Isn't this fun?
I got the text message while we were in the game. My boss said I had Saturday covered, free to go.
Good.
Not even confirmed I had a game yet, but he let me know I was free.
Well, we knew we needed to make it worth it for you.
So you're doing your part. I'm doing my part. We'll be there on Saturday. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, B.
Appreciate you joining us. Our win tonight, 66-65, the Royals advance to the semifinals of the SoCal Regionals for the second year in a row. For Kevin Hitchin, Seth Orozco, our producer, Coach Terrence Harris, we appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate the hospitality of the Grant High School Lancers and their crew here on home court. For the NFHS Network, I am Brian Stanley. Our final score here from Bill McKee Gymnasium on the court of Howie Levine. 66-65 Mission Prep over Grant. Thank you for joining us, and join us on Saturday for